discipline is for losers. Why is that?
So I often compare discipline to something negative, because you get disciplined when you misbehave, you get disciplined when you fall short. I like to kind of spin it a little bit and say self-regulation. Self-regulation is your ability to monitor your behavior, your ability to regulate your emotions, and your ability to be in control. I don't want to be a person that's always focused on being disciplined. I want to be a person that has mastered self-regulation, a person that has mastered being able to say yes, being able to say no, and then simultaneously being able to play with the balance of balance. Most people apply self-discipline and they neglect so many beautiful things that they could experience in life because, I just got to be hard on myself. No, not necessarily. You just have to self-regulate, understand how to manage your life, and understand that it's a lot more enjoyable when you are a person that has self-control as opposed to a person that is just following a set of rules over an extended period of time.
What is self-regulation though? Because if you regulate the wrong things, you're going to work a job that you hate, you're going to go through a path that you don't enjoy, and then you find 10 years gone down the path and nothing has changed.
I mean, I think it all comes down to self-regulating good and bad things. So a good thing at the wrong time can be a bad thing. Just like a bad thing in an opportunistic time could have a positive switch to it. So it's not about self-regulating crack. You know what I mean? It's about understanding that if you have too much of a good thing and you don't apply this self-regulation, it can be negatively affecting you.
How does that feed into time? Because everything that has a cause has an effect. So let's say if we self-regulate today and we remove an aspect of our diet or our food or our drink, that'll have an impact in a few years' time. But how do you think about that for the impact of what you've done? Because it's a cumulative effort that applies over the course of 5, 10, 20 years.
I mean, it's interesting. I think self-regulation, you can look at it short-term and long-term. So it has short-term consequences, but it also has long-term consequences. What I always tell people is in my decision-making process, I never want to make irreversible decisions. So you never want to make decisions that you cannot reverse. So for example, I go get that girl pregnant. I can't reverse that decision. It's done. My life will fundamentally be different. Had I self-regulated and kept my dick in my pants, I would have been able to avoid decision-making, right? And consequences that will fundamentally change my life. So in the self-regulation process that I apply, I always avoid things that I can never fundamentally change. So I like to be able to, if I make a decision, because I can't see 20 years in the future, right? So those have real world consequences, these decisions. So I want to make sure that any decision that I make has a reversibility factor to it.